Welcome to week 7 of Cloud for Developers. This week we're going to start to combine a couple of technologies, and those technologies are we want to connect our DynamoDB data. So we're going to use the sample data of baseball stats, and there's some games and players and teams, and that data is actually going to be required of your Lab 7, which is going to be the Week 7 lab. But we're going to start combining that data with JavaScript. Okay, and we're going to connect those two things together. And when I say JavaScript, I'm really talking about Node.js. So in the read section, there's a couple of things that you're going to look at. The first is, how do I connect Node.js and DynamoDB? So it's an Amazon Getting Started article. And then secondarily, the SDK that comes with AWS. So there's a library that's put out by Amazon, and there's a couple of different versions of this library for different languages. But we're looking at the DynamoDB SDK for JavaScript, which will then get integrated into Node.js. Okay, then once you've kind of looked over those, there's a screencast that covers the create, read, update, delete operations. So assuming we have a data source, how do I connect Node.js over to DynamoDB? How do I make that relationship between my code and the underlying database? So this is about an hour-long video, and it's pretty dense if you're actually going to work through it. So in terms of content length time, not that long, but if you're going to work through it, plan on spending some time on it, because that connection is not necessarily straightforward. And then lastly, this is a fairly typical week in that you're going to have a check-in and Lab 7, and Lab 7 is really about loading this JSON data into a DynamoDB database. That'll kind of be the basis of our data set that we're working with. A couple of additional notes. I'm still grading Project 1, so that should be out by this weekend in terms of grades, so make sure you're checking the Grade Center. And then the other announcement that I have is that the midterm exam is going to be next week. So next week is week 8. We'll have the midterm exam. My plan is that I will send out a follow-up announcement regarding the exam, so just kind of content list of topics to be covered on the exam, format of the exam, the structure of the exam, and things like that. But you will be able to take it online, and it is open book, open note, open computer, and that'll be next week. Okay, and that's really it for week 7, so see you next week.